This is your daily briefing and you're most welcome to it. Antonio Conte was reassuringly pragmatic in his presser ahead of the Brighton match, which is this evening at 8 o'clock. I think it's on ITV4. He said, "We signed 2 new players and I think they are the right prospect for the Tottenham philosophy. Young, talented players who can develop and improve. 2 good signings for us." This is pivotal, and I saw somebody earlier, and it might have been on my blog, might have been on somebody else's, going, "Oh no, he's using the old P word, the old philosophy," but that isn't the word that pays in here. What he's talking about are 2, relatively speaking, established players. However, he is not shy about not calling them out, but addressing them as being youngsters, as not being quite the finished article. And this is brilliantly reassuring, as I say, because the likes of Jack Clark, Bryan Gil, come back when you're shaving, you know. And I think for a club where the players walk out of £1 billion complex, am I being unreasonable? I don't think I am. There are some positions where we searched and found solutions, others where we didn't have these kind of opportunities. It's okay, we go ahead, we go forward with our players and we are happy about it. And I sense there's a sort of corporate line there, we are happy in our work, which he's got to say. He's not going to sit there and say, well, I didn't get everybody I wanted. I don't feel, doesn't strike me as an unreasonable man. And Conte said that losing 4 players, including 3 recent signings in the January market, was very strange. And the club must cut out mistakes in the transfer market. We have to pay more attention in the market to sign players. It becomes of fundamental importance. Couldn't agree more. And this is him gently pointing the finger and saying, listen, it may well be fine for Jamie Redknapp and co sat in the studio saying, oh yeah, full of world-class internationals. Can't understand why nobody can't get a tune out of them. The place was crawling with deadbeats, and now there are fewer deadbeats. Yay! But unfortunately, all of this has passed Dan Kilpatrick by at the Evening Standard. Absolutely, I don't know, is squalid the right word? It would be great. It would just be great if some of these guys could take a day off. And I don't mean that in a nasty way, but I just don't think the human, the species is designed for churning out so much content. Just give us the good stuff. I mean, if you'd have taken Brian Glanville at the age of 18 and made him produce 2,000 words a day, he would have probably looked like a bit of a schmuck as well. Conte says losing 4 players, blah, blah, blah. And then 2 hours later, so he goes over the quotes from the thing about, they've had to do a bit of a G. And 2 hours later, he divined the following wisdom. With Skip injured and Bentancur not ready to start, there's already a situation where Conte hasn't really got the personnel to play 3-5-2 versus Brighton. This was a risk in allowing Dele, GLC and Ndombele all to leave. Well, listen, mate, I'm very tempted to be very rude to you and say come back when you're shaving. But Dele Alli, Giovani Lo Celso and Ndombele, they weren't playing regularly. So I'm not quite sure where your 3-5-2 comes from. I'm not disputing that we've not played 3-5-2, but I just think you've been staring at his words and trying to create something. And this is what, if you want to know what Conte's saying, don't listen to any of these guys. We don't need their spin, their twist, their analysis. They're not even giving us an analysis because it's so substandard. And what actually Conte was saying is what he actually said. For sure, it was strange to send out on loan 4 players and 1 transfer in January. You have to buy players to reinforce your team. But if you send away players you bought in the last 2 or 3 years, it means you did something wrong in the past. There you go. He knew that he couldn't rely on these guys. These guys knew that he knew. But that passed little Daniel by. He hasn't really got the personnel to play 3-5-2 versus Brighton. Oh no, I've wet the bed again, mummy. I mean, sorry, but this is just risible. But if you thought that was poor, then you didn't read the 2,500 words of Jack Pitt-Brooke on whether Spurs could be for sale. 2,500 pins in your eyes, and he finishes up with the line, and I paraphrase it because, but I'm just trying to warn you, let the shipwrecks of others be your marker in the storm. 2,500 pins in your eyes, and then he finishes with, but if Daniel wants to sell, it'll be in his own good time. Thanks a lot for that, mate. That is fantastic. Absolutely mind-blowing. And next week, Jack will be asking, if a man flaps his arms really, really fast, will he be able to fly? And at the end of those 2,500 words, he'll be telling us, well, if he's able to do that, then it would be quite remarkable. Absolute time wasters. I can't say enough. I don't know what contracts you guys have, but just less is more. Less is more. We don't need as much as you're churning out, and the quality has nosedived. I'm not saying it was good to start with, but just the species. We're not designed for this. Head of Brighton, Jonathan Veal, has injury news. He's from Press Association Sports, so, you know, it keeps to the facts, opposed to boring us with insights that don't stack up to any scrutiny. Oliver Skipp is out with a groin, presumably his own. Japhet Tanganga has a knee. And Sonny and Romero are now fully fit. The new lads are going to be probably on the bench. They're involved in the squad. We're told in numerous places. Spurs official, and this is one that Conte needs to get on top of for a start. Pape Matar, his side qualified for something in the AFCON, and huge congratulations. Post from Tottenham Hotspur official on Twitter. He played for 16 minutes in one game. He had 3 passes. But there will be people out there who get G'd up by this mindlessness. Oh, he looks a real prospect. Can't wait for him to come to the Premier League. Mindless. Absolutely mindless. Please, just stop. Stop. Ten Hag is give us a quote on Steven Bergwijn. Should be perfect for us. Shame we couldn't get him, but it is what it is. Another chance in the summer. Well, I don't think he will be away from our radar. So it's down to you, Stevie boy. Do you want to make a name for yourself in the Premier League, or do you want to go back home with your tail between your legs? I'd like you to really work, but we may need to surgically remove a Gucci coat or two before that happens. Who knows? Right, that's your lot. Good luck. Keep it Tottenham.